everybody doing? Oh, should I say good morning? How's everybody doing this morning? I hope everybody's doing fine. For those who follow Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Facebook, you're more than welcome to join my group. And those who follow my showreel TikToks under HCS 895, or I mean 865. One of those, 865, I believe. How's everybody doing this evening? Let me open up the chats here. Um, I'm here with my cousin Jessie. Uh, Yesterday's live got interrupted through I guess my connection gave out when we was fixing a talk. I was saying a story and it just cut off on me. I can't. I'm trying to remember what the story was about, but do you remember
You,
where we left off? Cause
no, man, we had gotten sidetracked off of the topic when it cut off. Man, we were trying to talk about if the Skinwalker had a fur of a wolf
oh
dog.
yes, yeah.
I remember me.
How you doing, Sister Ivy? Real MMA. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, we got
So
sidetracked with those trolls, man.
yeah. They always try to come and interrupt. But what I don't know if you've seen the show we all created today or this
I seen
evening.
it. I seen it.
That's the other part to it. For the other part to the same one, but it's a that's when I was walking in. I didn't. It was there, and then the other one is when I'm walking out of the path because one is I'm going one way, and this one I'm going the other way. So it was there already. It was looking at me, and it's I guess Dogman, beastly form manifestation. They do run wild, man, especially at nighttime. That's when they surface up. All this activity. If you go by the lakes, you're able to they'll pass right beside you. They used to pass right beside me when I was on Fort Hood when I used to train out there in the military. I normally be inside my tank, but when I step off the tank to go probably get some soup or go use the restroom or go get debriefed, we had to walk a distance, and I could see them pass right behind me, just like I see them now when I go out here into the, to to investigate. They pass behind me. I could sense them or I could see them through my parallel vision. You know that saying, always have your eyes, eyes on your back. Well, that's how I am. Uh, that I'm able to see them that way.
Hi, Bonnie Bear.
I doing. We got Benny Frolics and Sister Kyla.
And they
Uh,
start.
they're already disrespecting. But anyways, yeah, I can share some stories of Fort Hood. Let me fix this here. I think I'm tilted or something. I don't know. Yeah, I can see me better there. Since they were disrespecting my this is my other veteran hat that I got. Operation it says Desert Storm veteran. So I put it on just to let them know in behalf of all the veterans that served and those that are not here, for all the people with stolen valor and anybody that hates veterans, y'all can kiss my good old American ass. Thank you. You know,
We haven't
I
even
know
been
yesterday
on five
we're getting
minutes. And
a lot of people disrespecting last night. So
and they started
you
early
know,
this one.
they're computer trolls. They don't have the testicle fortitude to come and visit me. So the only way they can be some kind of warrior is uh man, it's probably stolen troll. They're so stolen troll valor. That's how bad they are. Stolen troll.
I thought
Valor.
I
It's
thought
not
I
even
heard,
Valor.
I heard trolls on the ground. I don't know, man. The screen on this thing, man, is not as bright as the one on my phone, man.
Yeah, but I can still see you.
I look dark, man. I'm not dark. I'm a
I'm
light
trying to
skinned man.
remember where I left up when it broke off. I was sharing a story, and it just stayed there. Like I just don't remember what story I was sharing yesterday when the my connection. I lost my connection last early in the morning. But yes, I guess we must be doing good. I guess we must be doing good if throats pop up. The throat must be hating, so they'll be popping up. I know last night, even with the trolls, we had over 1,000 views, 1,400 views. When we're talking about the Skinwalker Shapeshifter, and we're bringing the spiritual aspect of it to the front lines here
Sucks,
on
man.
Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Good evening, Smurfy. How you doing? I'm just trying to remember the story I was saying, but I got a lot of I still have a lot of stories of that.
I think you were telling the story about how you shot that dude in the and gave him a third eye, and then you had to account for the bullet.
Oh yeah, yeah, but I think it was I was talking. We went back to Shape to Skinwalker, and I got cut in the middle of the story. I'm just trying to remember what the story was that I was sharing that he just cut off. I will have to go back, but I can do that another time because I have several stories. This from the activity, that the share in Central Texas is pretty bad. I'm gonna take off my glasses because I got a little glare uh, from the light.
Oh, no. You're choking on
So
soda, man.
yes, this is a part two from yesterday. If I can remember where I left off, maybe I'll remember later on. But we're talking about shapeshifter skinwalkers. I placed another short reel of the same location from the short reel I placed yesterday, but there's a different picture when I'm going into the path, and you could literally see uh, the the beastly manifestation of how he looks, and it's right behind me as I'm walking in into the path. The other one was walking out. This one was walking in, and you could see it was a little bit further in into the woods, but you could still see the face of the manifestation that it took looking at me. I believe, whether it's a DDN or the Skinwalker. I mean, if we cut the face of the Skinwalker, so he had to be a Skinwalker, right? What do you think about that, cuz?
Well, that was a very interesting picture, man.
Yeah,
And for sure, if you really, really look, you can actually see the face of the skinwalker, man. Not just
that's,
the animal head, but the face underneath.
but in this one you could see the animal head,
Yeah.
real clear. So if you want to check out the short reel that I placed, there's two short reels. One from yesterday, or one from 2 days ago. Then the one I placed yesterday. The one from 2 days ago, you could see the skinwalker's face. Then the animal uh, face above it. The one I placed today is when I was going in that area, which is a little bit further into the woods, but you could see it looking at me. And I placed that one today.
Welcome, Unleashed.
Welcome, welcome. So I said to my cousin, I said, you know what? I'm going to place this picture because it's dealing with the same being that's there, but it looks different because you're seeing I guess it will be after the shapeshifter, I mean the skinwalker shapeshift into the beastly manifestation.
Hmm.
And that's what that is the beastly manifestation looking at me from within the wood line. I created a show where you could see it looking at me. So that's why I felt that we had to continue this a part two of Skinwalker Shapeshifters. I don't know where everybody lives, but it's pretty hot and heavy. Uh, I guess me, since I have the spiritual calling, the ability to see spiritually, and I'm attending Love Foundation, they know who I am, and they come after me, man. Like they show themselves to me, or not just show themselves. I could hear the disembodied voices. I could see. Sometimes they come at me in disembodied form, which is invisible, but I'm able to sense them around me, which I can move the camera to where I'm feeling something, and that's how I catch them. It's like when I did bump my videos, I always go to where I knew something was happening. So when I go to that part of the video where I feel something around me, I look and there it is. That's how good my senses are. They're very keen to what's around me spiritually. Uh, and I'm bringing the spiritual proof. Listen to me. The spiritual proof of anything that's in disembodied form. Skinwalkers, shapeshifters,
Wendigos.
wendigos, uh, I call the DDN, demons, legion, witches, warlocks, lost souls, unclean spirits, dark shadows. Uh, I think I even got a picture of a fairy. I have a picture of a fairy that I
I
caught.
saw that picture. I saw that picture. You could actually see the fairy.
I caught a fairy on a picture one time. Uh, could have been a fairy, could have been a pixie, one or the other. I know that. I know I'm getting a little bit of talking, but they're kind of like a. I'm not gonna say a shapeshifter, but they do have energy. Uh, I know who likes fairies here. Who likes stories of fairies? Maybe one day we'll do that, or maybe I can say it here. But I want to stick to the what I'm speaking of. But there's a lot of things that are out there. You got the elementals that are out there also.
Yes, sir.
Uh, that they use the elements to form, and I believe the other one that I said was the one they call the one, which is the natives when they didn't want to die in the hands of their enemy, they would grab the family and they would form a circle, and the head of the household would cut their wrist of all the family members and himself. So they died in holding hands, and what would happen is from the blood that spilled, that when the sun rose, the one will come out, and which the one was like a deity slash demigod, in which she had the abilities to use anything within Mother Nature to shapeshift. To manifest with anything in Mother Nature. And normally, since it's like a sacrifice, kind of like a curse in a sense of a way that it goes after people or wherever's in that land. Because there was a land, so that's what they do, and they also are out there. They normally form from the elements. Uh, they can form from branches, uh, leaves, the ground itself, mud. It's kind of like an elemental of sort, but this one is because of spilled blood. How you doing, Julieta Churcher? We talk very in depth here spiritually of the things that are out there. That yeah, we're not about the how should I say, the drama that TV shows you. All the shows about how people react. They overreact because it's a show and they got to get their viewers in order for them to get money for the viewers. So they do a lot of things that I don't do. The things that they do, if they go into the environments that I go, they would easily get spiritually attacked, in which it wouldn't be, how should I say, staged, like the things they do staged. They would easily get spiritually attacked, especially if they go out there thinking that they're gonna they're gonna take some kind of authority, challenging something when they have all these spiritual openings. They're gonna get easily dropped out there. So what you see on TV is a lot of shows that are staged. The guy with the bifocals, whatever his show's name, I don't even want to say his name, the name of the show, but that guy is all that stuff is staged right there. I don't.
That dude on
Yeah,
TikTok, man.
yeah,
That's all staged.
he's all staged. He's all BS. Uh, because I'm gonna tell you why I know it's staged. Because the thing that they do is what you're not supposed to do when you're trying to protect your spirit. So in those shows, you see people being scared. That's a spiritual opening. You see people challenging things. If they're not spiritual ready, if they haven't prayed, they don't believe in Jesus Christ, then they're going to get spiritually attacked. Uh, they start arguing amongst each other. Guess what? That's a spiritual opening for them to get a negative attachment on them or possibly possessed. So there's a lot of things that show does that you're not supposed to do when you're dealing with unclean spirits, demonic activity, and all the beings I just mentioned to you. You're not supposed to do that. And when you have so much equipment, that's an interference. That's going to cause interference of what you're trying to do. If you look at the show risk on spiritual encrypted encounters, I can go during the day and capture things that are out there, and I have the show reels to prove it. Now I go out there at nighttime. Sometimes, yeah, I get some eye shine and stuff like that. But a lot of those shows on TV, they're staged and they just do it for the viewers. I'm just here to tell you. And to me, uh, those shows, you get people that want to be like those guys, and they really go out there to a real location where there's activity, and they go out there acting like them. They're gonna get dropped easily because they're not preparing themselves spiritually to fight the unseen. Yeah, right. So I'm just seeing a lot of shows where, but that's when you get producers and all this stuff that they 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 make you be a certain way. Maybe the guy did start off genuinely trying to do something, but then he just it went up to his head and he just does it for the money and for the viewership. I believe he canceled out other shows because he wanted to be the only show. I don't even watch it.
I overbuilt automotive.
I doing overbuilt. Uh, I've seen where sometimes the spirits will come. There's a way that I've what I've done where they can come and visit you. Uh, when you have a dream of a loved one, and maybe that might be in the darkness, what you should do is light up a white candle for them. Say the prayer or say a prayer. Place a picture, their picture by the white candle, and you'll be able to see. They might have a spiritual message for you, and you'll know if it's them or not because the white candle will protect your room. It brings peace and tranquility spiritually that can visit you. But that's what I would suggest. And you have to be careful because the shapeshifter skinwalker can take and manifest to look like them uh, in in the flesh. That they can manifest like your loved ones to look like them in the flesh. So when they manifest, and they might be looking at you, and you're like, "There's no way," because your loved one passed many years ago. So what do you do if you went up in a situation like that? It's not their spirit, especially if it's looking like they're here in the flesh. It's something that took their form or manifested to look like them. So you tie bound and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name.
Yeah, you need to be careful with that. Seeking to connect with him spiritually, because you could be drawing something that you don't want. It might not be him.
You see it happen all the time, brothers and sisters. When people trying to make contact with their loved ones, you got people trying to use Ouija boards, uh, fortune tellers, psychics. You know, those people opening up to the spirit world, right? When they're supposed to, you don't know what's going through them, trying to send you a message. You don't know. So whatever, when they open up to the spirit world, they open up to everything in the spirit world. So the message that they might be sending you is not your loved one sending you the message. It's something else that might be sending you the message just for the belief factor because they want you to believe it's your loved one. So you start believing that your loved one talking to you and it's not, then you have a negative attachment on you because you gave it power of belief. Then it attaches itself to you, and you can take it home with you. The negative attachment. So you thought it was your loved one that spoke to you, send you a message of something because you open up an opening. So I suggest no, don't be messing with those kind of things because those are they can open demonic portals. The Ouija boards especially, but there's a lot of other things that do the same thing. You have to be careful not to dabble with that. Amen, Sister Deborah. Yes. Okay. Wait. Yes. Uh, trust me. I'm gonna share. I shared it yesterday, but I'll share it again. What happened to me? Uh, we got 30 people and 7 likes. Maybe we can get more likes in here. Uh, because that happened to me. That's what I'm telling you. Uh, One night, my Chihuahua or my Chiweenie dog was barking, and he was every time he barks, it means something's outside or somebody's outside. I went out. This happened in Elms Grove in Killeen, Texas. I went outside my mobile home, and I'm looking, and I see somebody sitting down on my neighbor's porch, and the porch light is on. There's a woman sitting on this porch. Like, and my neighbor, he's African American, and there's like looks like a Spanish female sitting on his porch. So I go near my street. She gets up, walks on the steps, and goes right by the edge of the street, and she's looking at me. And I'm looking at her, and I'm saying to myself, "No, that's no way. That's no way." So as I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and she's got this smile. This smile that she got is looks kind of wicked, you know, the way she's smiling at me. So I start praying the deliverance prayer, the Our Father. I start Our Father who art in heaven, and she takes off and goes to the other side of the street. So she starts walking, and I'm walking on my side of the street, and she's looking at me, still smiling at me, real crazy, real wickedly. And I continue to pray, and then she's walking down the middle of the road. She just vanishes, disappears. Well, the reason I was saying this, there's no way, because the manifestation that this shapeshifter skinwalker took, or you want to call it DDN or something demonic, uh, was the manifestation of my mother.
Oh wow.
And, and the reason that this is 2015 when it happened, and the reason I'm saying there's no way is because my mother has been deceased since 1985. So he really went for the juggler on that one. Like, it went to try to get me pissed off because it manifested like my mother. It was did that on purpose, just to mess with me. It was trying to mess with me, either to believe in it or to get pissed off at it, to try to challenge it spiritually, in which I didn't. I fought against it spiritually. I prayed against it. But yes, it manifested to look like my mother. That was crazy right there. But I said, there's no way. I stuck to what my faith and belief, and I fought it spiritually, in which it just vanished as it was walking down the street. They can mess with you because they know what's within you. They know that because they're spirits. Spirits are spirits, so they know what's in your heart. They know what's in your mind. So they know if you have a spiritual opening or a weakness. So they're going to use everything in their arsenal to come after you. Anything. That's why I always tell people, if you go investigate, make sure you don't have no spiritual openings because they will mess with you or attack you spiritually. The don'ts that you when if you go to an investigation, where those are ghost hunters or those people that are hunting cryptids, or like, or people like me that go out there to find spiritual evidence of this demonic beings or shapeshifter skinwalkers, elementals, whatever's out there. Make sure you pray before you go to an investigation. If things start getting out of control, pray during the investigation and pray after the investigation. When you pray after, say for nothing to follow you, if there's something on you to get off of you, because you don't allow it to follow you to enter your home or your immediate foundation. You pray against it. It's very important for you to do this, because if not, they will enter your home.
Well, cousin, I can understand what she's going through because I remember I told you a couple of days after my dad passed away, he came to me in a dream and we were talking, and then everything turned violent, man. And I went into a state of sleep paralysis, and I managed to. He was trying to kill me, man. He was choking me, and I managed to turn sideways, and I woke up. But when I opened my eyes, I saw a green orb floating by me, and then it went into the wall and up and through the ceiling, and I heard something running on the roof of the house, man. So
Yeah,
like I
because
said,
that wasn't your father. It's something pretending to be your father to get close to and attack you while you were in your sleep. Which would be something demonic. That's why it manifested to look like your father. We have our loved ones that are in spirit. We're still spiritually connected with them because through that love foundation. The don'ts that you're not supposed to do is have no fear. The do's is have no fear, have no. I mean the don'ts. I mean of when you go and investigate, you shouldn't have no anger, no hatred. You shouldn't have no fear. You should have no belief of what you're seeing, because you're gonna see things,
you're gonna hear
and
things.
you're gonna hear things. So to give it power of belief of what you're seeing or hearing, because if that is demonic driven and you're believing in it, well, guess what? That's a spiritual opening. Those are just some of the openings that I'm mentioning to you right now. And then another thing, if you have unforgiveness in your heart, that's a big spiritual opening. That's a spiritual opening where generational curses go from generation to generation. Who goes through the generational curses? Demons. So before you go out there and investigate, make sure you go prepared. If you have unforgiveness, forgive those individuals because forgiveness is part of love, and you're able to move forward in a positive way, in which the Heavenly Father blesses you with a spiritual gift of discernment that they will guide you and help you spiritually. So there's a lot of things you have to do. That's just the spiritual things. Of course, there's other things that are out there. There's animals out there. There's bobcats, wildcats, bears. Depends where you live, right? Alligators, if you're in the Florida, snake bite, python. So you have to be prepared for anything, the spiritual and the physical. See, Arco Jr. says he's from Louisiana. I have a great video I would like to send you guys about this home video from a home. It is a video of a phone. I see. My father and my grandfather owned this place in a ranch in Louisiana. I have incredible evidence of was recorded 2 weeks ago in a weird form. Things like before. Yeah, man. Shoot me a friend request or I'm under HCS. Uh, and I'll check it out. And if something, you could always come here and do a show with me so you can talk about the activity in Louisiana and share the video. We'll share it so people can view it, then have you on the show so you can speak of the things that you're witnessing in Louisiana. I know there's a lot of activity there in Louisiana.
That would be a good show.
Yes. So if you're up to it, man, I do spiritualize every evening at this time frame, late at night. But yeah, that would be nice to see because I create a lot of short reels there. If you look to my short reels, maybe you'll see something there that might look what's in your video. Maybe you have something completely different. I know cousin Jesse had experiences in Mississippi by near the river, where you seen
No, they
that
were passing
activity.
there, man. We were in the first one was in Faro, Mississippi, and I can't remember the name of the second town I went to, man. But yeah, the trailer house was extremely haunted, man. Extremely
Says
haunted.
the image says the dead will bury the dead. Come and follow me, and say Jesus.
Yeah, he said that. Amen. Yeah, that
The
Mississippi,
dead.
man, got a lot of activity, man. Mississippi's got a lot of activity, man.
Yeah. Well, he lives in Louisiana. I know there's a lot of activity in Louisiana also. Dear Arco Jr., I'm under HCS on Facebook. Shoot it through Messenger, man. ABESIAS. And if you're not camera shy, I can have you here tomorrow evening and we can talk about it. I'll debunk the video even more in depth. I'm pretty good at finding things within videos. That's the works that I do.
I was
Sometimes when you,
camera shy.
huh?
I was camera shy, but this is like my fourth or fifth time being on here.
Uh, he was camera shy, but he's not no more. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone and do things. It's within you to be able to stand out. Because we're children of God. So I'm not afraid to speak. I used to be in the military, so you can't afraid to do your job or do what you got to do. You just do it. Yeah,
That
but I,
would be
w-
an
I would be
interesting picture.
interested in seeing that video, Archeo Junior. Uh, if you're willing to share it with us. Let me see some of the other comments here. I want you to idolize their relatives and not give glory to our what? Oh yeah, it wants. Yeah, so you can get tempted. There's the come if the things that they do of fear don't get you, then they come through temptations. They try to attack you where you're asleep, like as in the form of succubus and incubus,
Like it happened to me. Attacked me while I
sleep
was sleeping.
paralysis, sleep paralysis, uh, night terrors, and sleepwalking,
Or being dragged under a bed. I ain't never gonna forget that because
or being dragged under the bed, like what happened to my cousin. Tell him the story, cousin, and take your time with it. Tell him the story of what happened to you.
back when I used to live with Abe and his brothers and sisters, uh, I used to
We
sleep
were
on a couch.
teenagers.
I used to sleep on a couch. This happened in what, 88, I believe?
Yeah.
86, 87. And I didn't want to sleep on that couch by the window because of the skull with the cholo hat would come out and look through the window there. So I thought I'd be smart and sleep between the couch that you slept on and the bed that your sister slept on. I threw all the cushions between the bed, man, thinking, oh, I'm gonna sleep real good. In the middle of the night, I woke up screaming because there was a hand pulling me under the bed by my the tomorrow the calf, my calves. It had a hold of my left calf and it was dragging me under the bed and I was punching it and punching it. And I finally got away from it. I got up, turned on the light, and everybody jumped up. What? I said, somebody tried to drag me under the bed. I looked under the bed, there was nothing there, but there was a big old handprint on my calf. It was all red. It was a giant handprint on my calf. And
Dang.
yeah, that was the
That was
last time.
in the first room
Yeah,
or in the back
when you
room.
walked in, no, in the first room when you walked in the house from the front
Oh
door,
wow.
where Lupita and y'all used to sleep, man, in the middle between the couch and the bed. I threw all the couch cushions back there. Well, down there and slept between there, and that was the first and last time I slept down there. Never again. I would rather see that dude with the skull and the fedora than get dragged under a bed.
Murphy says, in the moment Jesse was saying, "Take Abe, take Abe." And maybe that's the thing that was putting me in between the mattresses when I was a kid.
Yeah, at least they didn't do to me what they did to Abe. They made Abe go up, float up to the ceiling.
Oh yeah. I got so many stories, brother and sisters. They levitated me up towards the ceiling. They had to be tall to do that. This DDN, demonic spirits, or whatever they were. But it happened to me. I can share the story with y'all. This happened in Anton, Texas. And this falls in the category with all this that we're speaking of, shapeshifters, skinwalkers, because all this beings, demons, they all can manifest to look like something. So this evening, because my mom and dad were fighting, they had been fighting all day. My mom would always tell us, if you fight, evil's gonna come, because that's what they love, for people to be fighting. So they're fighting all day. So at nighttime, like around 8 o'clock, I go to the front porch and I see something standing by the pole, near the ranch's dirt road. So somebody's standing there looking at me, and it's pretty big. And I'm looking at it, and it looks big. Like we call it a bulto negro, which would be a
A
big
black
bulto
shadow.
negro, a big dark shadow standing there. And where this pole is, there's no trees around it. But the
I
big
never know.
shadow was standing there looking at me. I go inside and I said, "Mom, Dad, there's something outside." They're like still fighting, arguing. So next thing you know, as I go back outside, like around 9 o'clock, 9:30, somewhere around there, it's that one, and they're all in the front. big dark shadows underneath the pine trees, but they have red eyes. And these pine trees and the ranch were like this and went along the side of the house. So I looked to my right and I seen a bunch of them there standing there, just standing there. And I went inside and I told my parents, "Hey, there, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of things outside, and they're standing. They have red eyes, and they stopped fighting, arguing. And as they looked, they seen them. I was like, what is that? So they went into prayer. As they were praying, all the things that were standing out there, they closed up on the ranch house. So we were seeing them peeking in through the windows. They were massive. You could see the red eyes looking through the windows, through the ranch windows, and we're just praying and praying. I mean, they were like right there by the windows. Like if they were trying to enter the home. So they were praying, and next thing you know, you don't see them no more. Uh, if you think of what people say, how big a Bigfoot is, well, this was big as that, but we know other things that are as big or bigger than Bigfoot that used to exist, which was a Nephilim, in which I call them the DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim. So they said we don't see them. I checked every room. I don't see nothing around. I was just looking through the windows. I couldn't see nothing outside. So I went to sleep. Right. I went to sleep. I'm sleeping. I'm having a dream of me falling in a hole or a well. I'm falling and falling. It's like in the dream I cannot hit the bottom. Till I said, okay, in my dream, if I hit the bottom, I'm going to imagine something soft. In which that happened. I imagined something soft and I bounced. When I woke up from that dream, my face was pressing against something, and I thought I had fallen off a bed. Off the bed. I opened my eyes. I'm pressing on the ceiling. I look down. I'm elevated up in the air. The ceiling is pretty tall. My body's pressed against the ceiling. My brother sees me. Robert, he was like in sixth grade at the time. He jumps off the his bed and runs out of the room. And they're like, she said, Mom, something's happening to Abram or Abe, And when he says that, they drop me. Boom, I hit the ground. So by the time that my mother comes into her, I'm just laid out on the ground, and she's like, yeah, my brother saw it. My brother saw me elevated. He saw me elevated. Uh, my body pressed against the ceiling. So my mom, the only thing my mom said was me laying on the ground. I said, "Oh, he just fell off the bed," and my brother's all scared. My brother Robert, he remembers because he looked at me and he said, "Here's what my younger brother said when he see me up, pressed against the ceiling." He said, "Oh shit," and took off running. I mean, that's a common word that people say right when they see something that scares the hell out of them. He said, "Oh shit," and jumped off and took off running. You could literally say he left me hanging. It,
Hey, Smurfy, when I had my experience, Smurfy, there were no adults in the house. It was just a house full of teenagers, man. There were no adults in the house when I had my experience there at his house.
so when they get close to the house, what
I
really happened is that they came in the house. So they had me elevated up towards the ceiling. I don't know what they were trying to do to me. Uh, Crush me on the ceiling, or I don't know. All I know is I got dropped. But I
like a
believe
bad
that
habit.
there was a spiritual battle happening there. I mean, I was so high that I could say I was high that day. But I was high because I was being pressed by an unseen force on the ceiling. So I think that's the most high I've ever been.
Yeah. They got you high and then dropped you like a bad habit.
And it dropped me like a bad habit.
Yeah, that
Uh,
one night, yes, I was the only one attacked. But like I said, I wasn't scared. It was just pulling my leg. It was actually May pulling me into the foot of the bed, man. It kept pulling on my leg, and my I was the leg of the bed was between my legs, man. It was pulling me, and it hurt.
no, I wasn't injured when I got dropped. I was real skinny, probably weighed like 142 pounds. But they entered the home. That's what happened. The TDN or demons, they entered the home. I don't know what they were trying to do. They were trying to take me, or what. But I believe the angels were there protecting me. That's why they couldn't. Uh, what they were trying to do, I guess, because I would pray all the time and I would see them. So then I could identify them. And I was trying to keep peace in the family from them fighting and stuff like that. That it seemed me as a threat because they couldn't accomplish the mission that they wanted to do.
Yeah, Delana, don't tempt me to pull your legs.
Shit. Demon says, "I'm taking you with me, Jesse. Liar, quit pulling my leg." Which leg was it? It was pulling Jesse.
My left leg, man.
The left leg, or was it the
Yeah,
third leg? Third
yeah.
leg.
Well,
It was
it was smashing my third leg into the foot of the bed. It
oh
was a little
man.
painful.
Sorry, guys. We went a little bit off character here, but when you come in spiritual equipped, like, we could be talking about something, and because it happened a long time ago, we'll make a joke about it. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Not like me. I'm
Yeah,
the type of person. If I'm in danger, I look at the danger and I laugh at it
yeah,
because I'm not afraid
Smurfy.
of it. So I
It was
laugh at the danger.
it was pulling my third leg, Smokey. I mean, Smurfy was making me go.
My parents. I mean, they kept on. My mom kept on saying "Ay Maria Purísima," where she knew they were demonic in nature. Because they were like that was like the last couple of months that my mother was alive. So there was a lot of activity that was happening there. Then when we came back home, it was happening there too. So you could say that they were being spiritually bonded, like a form of demonic infestation, because they were out on a mission. The only thing I could do is fight for myself and for my brothers and sisters, because they're the head of the household, so they're being bonded. Then I have to protect. That's why we're still here. Me and my brothers and sisters still alive. If I wouldn't have, I was praying for everybody, but I could only do so much for I tried.
Yeah, man. When your mom passed away and your dad got sent where he went, your little brother and little sister were really young, man.
Yeah, there were two and five.
I was like,
Are you sure, Jesse? It wasn't you, man. That maybe that it
and
was
then
you.
I
the
pulled my own leg. Well, I
No,
would
but
only do that in
like
pirates.
how far did it pull you underneath the bed?
It 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 took me from I was in the middle of the room, in the middle between the couch and the bed, and when I finally got it off of me, I'm telling you, the foot of the bed was between my legs, man. I was at the bottom of the bed being pulled toward the door.
Oh wow!
So it dragged me a good 4 or 5 feet from where I was sleeping. Because I wound up with the foot of the bed between my legs, man. It was hurting me, man. And then
So
I had that big old handprint on my calf, man. It was a huge handprint. It was still red.
I'm reading some of his comments. Yeah, when let's talk about when the head of the household are being bonded. If if they're being bonded, then and they're the head of the household, then the things that are run out spiritually, it's kind of like to have a free entry into your house, you know, because they're being bonded, and then they go try to attack the children. They come after the children. But I fought for my brothers and sisters. I could only fight for wherever I could fight. I've seen them change where there was like possessions where it wasn't them at nighttime, like 2, 3 in the morning. Uh, if I go more in depth, maybe one day I'll share that. I wanted to keep it to the well, man. All I can tell you is this: it wasn't my mom, even though it might have been her body. It wasn't her that was in charge of her. It wasn't her in charge of her own body at nighttime between 2 and 3. If I try to get in her way, the way her face looked and the way her eyes looked, like she was totally, you could say, a form of a possession. If I got in her way to stop her from leaving anywhere, uh, she would get the butcher knife trying to take me out. But it wasn't her. It was because, if I had the wisdom and knowledge to say, I tie Brian and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, leave my mother alone, and I start praying the Our Father, I would have done that. But when you're a kid and you're seeing a butcher knife coming at you and she's trying to slice you up because you're in her way, what are you going to do? Stay in the way or move out of the way? So I'll move out of the way. But yes, there was a lot of activity in that nature. My father too, he would act completely different. Like something had control of him. Also, he would go in rages and just a lot of bad things. That's what normally happens uh, when the parents or anybody, it doesn't have to be your parents, anybody has a spiritual opening. If they have some kind of jurisdiction to be there, they will be there. If people are living in sin, if there's adultery, if in that nature, there's other things that can show up besides the things that we're talking about. You could have the deer woman show up, which is like a shapeshifter skinwalker, because she goes after men that are unfaithful to their wives. Or you can have La Llorona coming after you too, because she goes after men that are unfaithful to their wives, and goes after children that are unborn, that are children that are not baptized.
That sounds like a good time, the Red Runner.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, there was a lot of activity. This is just back what we're talking about. What he's talking about is I'm talking about a different location than my home. Because I'm talking about a ranch we used to go work up in Lubbock, Texas. But in our house, in the last room, is where I had the encounter of the Llorona. But I remember I was asleep there one time, and I seen something small. Could have been a duende, this big, and it jumped on my stomach, like it was trying to go into my stomach. And I grabbed it and threw it. It was like a little black ball. And then, like maybe 10 minutes later, a basketball came flying and hit me very hard in the head. That he woke me up.
That was the peaker, man.
The what?
It had to be the peaker that lived in that back room. He hit
Tell
you
him
with a
about
basketball.
tell him about the peaker.
Well, when you would walk up to Dave, Primo Abe's front door, it was a straight shot from the front door to the back bedroom. You could see all the way across the house. So if you if you looked into the back room, the very back room, you could always see a pair of red eyes looking back at you from back there.
They
And
go like this.
I call it the peeker. And if you proceeded to go inside, you could see it right before you got to the back room. It would disappear. When you go in the room, you couldn't find it anywhere.
This is Murphy, you're just wrong. I was in the military and they loved the man in and out of uniform. LOL.
That was your rifle. That was your gun.
There's my rifle. What is it?
This is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for fighting. This is for fun.
Oh man.
Yes, Delana, red eyes are always bad. That's demonic.
Demonic. Demonic.
See what you started, Dave? Now everybody's saying that they got their third leg played with.
Who's saying that?
uh, Ridge Runner 2. He said
Oh shit.
he went out with two sisters and they pulled his third leg.
God. Yes. Smurfy said, don't ask, don't tell.
That's usually the rule.
He's woken by a dream about the Egyptian god Horus and becoming a bird eagle. Woke me up quick and I started praying to Jesus Christ and casting the things out. That's what you're supposed to do, brother. Cast them out. Those are like I believe there were watchers, the watchers, which is there were some that kind of that were on land that could change into all these beings, eagles, and that was like a shapeshifter skinwalker. That's where it all started from.
Wow, we got three people in here.
Like I have so many stories, man, that sometimes I don't like talking about them because, well, I know people. Some people want to hear some crazy stuff. I have a lot of crazy stories.
Primo, that back room, man. That one time that I went to go sleep back there, I made a nest on the floor, thinking, man, I'm gonna get some good sleep. At least I ain't gotta worry about being dragged under the bed. It was worse, man. Something was trying to break through the floor. It was banging under the floor from under the house real bad, man. I went in, decided to go back to the living room and try to not look at the smiling skull with the hat that always appeared in the window.
There's a lot of activity there. That's why I don't go back home. But,
I know what the lady, no.
then I say, yes, I'm remembering this more and more from him now to super alert. Smurfy has nightmares about corn the cups and butter. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
but be careful, don't have no nightmares about buttered popcorn. Eh, it's fun to
For
see.
those that are not understand, corn on the cob is The Combinator. What did they call him yesterday? He was a Autobot or a Transformer.
Yeah, he was a transformer.
What's the name they gave him?
It's, something Tron.
Something Con. Something Con.
Smellatron. I don't remember something like that. Smurfy's the one that gave him that name anyway. He might know. Decepticorn.
Decepticorn. Sorry about that, y'all. You know, it's this guy.
Electrocron.
This guy's a troll. He
That's a good
trolls us
one, man.
all the time, and we make fun of him here. Here, he's a joke. You know, he's a troll. He trolls us, and we make jokes about him because he likes corn on the cob,
Decepticorn.
sideways, long ways. I don't know. He's a freak.
With butter, without butter. Una cremita para que resbale.
Here we see. Okay, here we go. Here's a story. When I was young, I was deep in the woods at night with my cousin and older brother, and we seen lead towards that we thought was a Skinwalker. Decepticorn. Dang it.
Aunque no se quiere
Oh,
uno reír.
we're calling the corn bopper also. You know when you bop for apples, he bops for
Corn Bob.
corn.
He bobs for corn.
Yeah.
His, his name's not Neil and Bob. That's just what he does.
Bopping for corn.
Oh, he don't want the blindfold.
But yes, when I used to work in Lubbock, there was the old U.S. Cav forts when the army used to be in horse regiments. So those little forts were actually like forts, like you know how they have Fort Hood. Well, there was a fort, and it said historical marker on there. I was always seeing shadow figures there by the trees, going into the buildings. I wouldn't get close to those buildings. The reason I wouldn't get it close because there was holes all around that building, and all you could hear was
Ooh, Satan's playtoy.
rattlers, diamondbacks. It was infested with diamondback rattlers, and that's all you could hear, the rattlers. So I will stay with that. I killed a diamondback there in that location because we're working there. Uh, I seen something going down my row on my aisle where I was working in the cotton. I ran and it was a big diamondback, and it was going towards our truck where my brother and sister were small. It was going towards them, and then he seen me, and he started going into a hole, and I stopped it from going in there. I pulled it out. My brother Robert pulled it, and he tried to bite me, and he swung his tail, and it tore my shirt, and then I just went crazy on his head and killed it. But if my mother got pissed off with me because she was like, "Puerco pendejo, you know what that is? If that would have bit you, that's it. You would have been dead."
That's
You know,
funny, Rizzo.
she was pissed off. But it was a big uh, diamondback that I killed with a hole. Not a $5 hole, a hole where you hold the weeds.
Thank you, Delena. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Corn on the cob says better stay away from Texas. Corn on the cobs. You know, they say everything is bigger in Texas.
So I can ever hear him saying, "Oh."
Thank you, Sister Delana.
Very much.
Yeah, there was another one time. This one, he started getting real freaking crazy. I hear my mom screaming, and she's not moving, and she's saying that there's a rattlesnake in her right there by her. So I run, and I get near the. I seen the snake that's coiled up, but this snake had red eyes. So I'm looking at it as is looking at her. I got it from the side, and I hit on top of it on the head, right? When I hit on top of it on top of the head, remember I said he had red eyes? The only thing you see is a puff of smoke and sulfur. It smelled like sulfur. So it was a demon in disguise that manifested to look like a rattlesnake.
Texas Cornwalker.
It was yes, it just disappeared. When I hit it, there was nothing there. It disappeared. But it was coiled, looking at my mother. Like I don't know what happened or what, but it just appeared in a row. So strange activity like that was always happening. No, it was a demon, man, because it disappeared, it vanished, and it was a stench of sulfur. I mean, I had a direct hit on top of the head of it, but well, it's kind of like I hit the ground when it disappeared. So in saying that, you heard the stories, guys, where people say they've shot at Bigfoot, they shot at Dogman and other cryptids, direct hits, and nothing happens to them. Well, I got a direct hit on this demon that manifested to look like a rattlesnake and had red eyes, and it just disappeared. And there was a smell of sulfur. Just to let you know that they can manifest into anything.
Yeah, cousin. Annette says you were talking about the witch when you got cut off yesterday.
Who said?
Annette Perisnia. I can't pronounce her last name. If I had teeth, I'd probably cut my tongue off with my teeth, but I ain't got no teeth.
You were talking about the witch when you were cut off with a witch.
Yeah, the one that you used to stay with in Mexico when you were a young boy. La curandera.
That I was the one from Mexico,
Yeah, the one
or
that
I know I
killed
was
the
talking
boy.
about different witches that I encountered.
You're talking about that when she passed away, the witches and lechuzas came to your house.
Oh yeah, that's when it cut off. That's right.
That's right.
So I'll go back. I'll do a retrack on that. I can share the story again when I'll say it in full story. So it's all dealing with the same thing, the demonic things. Shapeshifters. They learn witchcraft and necromancy. Same thing as a bruja and brujo. They learn witchcraft and necromancy,
Same thing
in
as a
which they're
shaman.
able to do the things that they do. Yeah, but the medicine woman they healed my brother is because there was a dark witch that did a spell on my brother. That's when my brother got the high fever, started hallucinating because of that. So that the curandera cured him, with an egg and put the maldad, the wrongdoing in the egg, which a little baby chick came out and he had a broken wing and a broken leg. because my brother, his hand was be a certain way in his leg, and he healed. The fever stopped, because the doctors in the U.S. couldn't find a cure for him. They say he was going to die because of the high fevers, but the curandera healed my brother. Um, After that, I got her see the works that she was doing, because the deal was that, well, when she healed him, that I had to stay with her. So I see my mother and my brother leave, and I stayed there with her. As that was part of the deal. I had to stay with her for a couple of months. I don't know. To this day, I don't know how long I was there, because I was just a kid. You know, I don't remember how long I was there.
Well, at least you can remember you were there. I can't remember the
Yeah.
whole year I spent with that blind brujo.
So I seen him leave, and then they say, I'm kind of like her spiritual eyes, because I know I'm a child. So I'm close to, like, coming from the kingdom of heaven, like a little angel. So I'm able to see things of the spirit. So she will use me in that manner, where people that were sick will come to her, and she will heal them spiritually. Some with herbs, and others that have negative attachments of bondage or possession. She would get the objects that were causing them to be sick out of them. For example, I've seen her pull snakes out of people, spiders, pieces of glass, barbed wire, and many other things out of people. You know, that would go to her for spiritual help. But in the spiritual aspect, when we talk about shadow figures and demons, I will see when they will come out of the person's body, where it will come out, and it looks just like what I capture on my videos. Like they look like they're here, but they're in spirit form. So I was able to see their shadow on the wall, because the room had a fire, so I could see them walk out. And she would tell me, "Oh, they're gone." No point. The worst that I seen was a guy had four demonic attachments on him, and they were all different sizes, and they looked beastly. Uh, but I just seen their shadow form, or should have said their spirit form. So when they would leave, I would just point, and she would ask me, "Se fueron?" And I would go like this. So what happened is, uh, the witch, the dark witch, or the Gran Bruja dark witch from over there, that did wrong to my brother. We found out what her name was, and what happened to her. She died because the seven times fold went back to her. So I remember one day, one evening, I hear her arguing with somebody, and you know, sh she was standing in the front door, looking outside, arguing. I could hear a lot of people talking to her, and I could hear noises like talons going, where they're scratching their claws. So I go stand beside her and I peek around like that, you know. See, I'm remembering things the more I talk about it, because I remember one of them said in Spanish, "There he is," like "Ahí está," you know. I remember that. One of them said "Ahí
Mhm.
está," and they were talking about me, and I was peeking around like that, looking at them, and I could see the six lechuzas up there, and the other six who were on the bottom. They had their, like, some kind of, how should I say, like the Druids wear, but they're all dressed in black, something like that, because I couldn't see their faces because they're covering their faces. So they're telling her, if you you have to give them up to us. If you give them up to us, uh, we'll we just call it even. What happened? Just give them to us, and we'll call it. Like nothing happened. But she said, "No, I'm not giving you him." And then I looked at the all of them. There was like, six and six on the trees, and I said, not what I say. I was 3, and I said, "Not afraid, not afraid." That's what I said. Not like not afraid or something like that. Like basically telling them I wasn't afraid of them. I was like, I was a kid, but I was kind of like mad because it's kind of like I could tell that they were trying to do something to her, spiritually, because they were chanting and doing spells. But I stood there. We stood there all night fighting spiritually against them from like 2 in the morning to like 4 or 5 in the morning. But they didn't enter because her location was protected. She had told me to go lay down and get some rest because she was battling them. She was battling them spiritually. So, after a while, I remember being outside and in the outdoor restroom. When I come out of the outdoor restroom, hear somebody calling my name. I'm looking at the person calling my name, and I think to myself, who's that? Because I didn't recognize the person. And the first thing that I thought was maybe it's one of those brujas, that's trying to trick me. And this is during the day. But no, it was my mother. My mother that called me. She said she was my mother. I don't know how long I was there. So then the curandera didn't want to let me go. She told me that I could stay there with her. She would take care of me, but she's already real old, like in her 80s, possibly 90s. So I remember going back to the States. So when we got back to the Rio Grande Valley, not even that, as soon as we got there, it's kind of like that Saturday, all the same witches that were over there, they came to our house. And they were by the side of our home where we have a lot of trees. Uh, the lechuzas, came in lechuza form, and they were all in the trees, which is like a harpy. Uh, all you could hear is when they would show up. The first thing that we hear is this: the talons where they're scratching, like, and my mom's like, "Y'all hear that?" And then it stops. I was like, "No, mom, I hear something, but I think it's nothing." And then next thing you will hear is like somebody's whispering. Y'all hear that? I said, "Yeah, it sounds like somebody's whispering." And I would say, "Oh, it's nothing, mom. It's nothing." And then you hear where they're laughing outside her window. And my mom was like, "Son las brujas, son las lechuzas, they're outside." So when that would happen, it's like activities start picking up. You hear like banging on the walls, scratching on the walls, running on top of the roof. If you're standing in the room, something starts hitting you right below you. You can feel the pounding. So you move to another part of the house, and you feel the pounding. Where you're moving is striking you down, right? So we go in a little huddle, and it's happening. Then you start hearing like running. You hearing the running, the pounding underneath the house. So then you start hearing running inside the house. But one of the things you were hearing was children laughing, which I know there wasn't children. What was laughing were demons, in the mimicking children. You could literally hear from the last room, run all the way to where the kitchen is, running back and forth. And we'd be praying, and then dishes start flying, like they're being tossed and broken. So it's like we're just praying. Everybody's young, and that happened for years like that till I finally made a spiritual stance. And I went outside when I was 10 years old, and I said, "I'm enough. I'm tired of this. Every Saturday, the same thing." I made my spiritual stance. I went outside and I told them to leave. They were massive on top of the trees, and I was hitting them with caliche. You could hear the thump and the hollow, where when you hit them so hard. that it vibrates, through the body, like a thump, thump. And I was telling them to leave, but they wouldn't leave because I wasn't doing it the right way. I was just a kid. I should have typed out a rebuke him in Jesus Christ's name, and they would have left. Uh, then my grandmother came, and she said, because we live by our grandmother, and she said, "What are y'all do? What are you doing?" I said, "I'm scaring the lechuzas, the brujas out of here." She looked at me and says, "You're not afraid of them?" I said, "No, I'm not afraid of them." And she goes around, looks up there, and she starts saying something. I understand what she's saying. Next thing you know, they fly away. Then she looks at me, gives me a little smirk. She said, "Tell your mom that I took care of it." And then she goes to her house. That's kind of like the last time that we had lechusa activity there when that happened. The name of the person that the curandera gave was Maria. My grandmother's name was Maria. There was another Maria. Now, I wonder how many Maria, which Maria it was, because I know a lot of Marias. Uh, but that's what that was about. It followed me until this day. Believe it or not, I've been fighting spiritually against this old vendetta that happened a long time ago. They know who I am. They know that I was the kid that was affiliated with a medicine woman that supposedly killed this wicked witch, this dark witch.
Did you drop a house on her? No, I'm asking you, cousin. Did you kill that witch? Did you drop a house on her?
I don't know how she passed away. I don't know what happened. Uh, all in all, a lot of things happened after that. Was they were targeting me. To this day, I still get targeted, but that's okay. So long I got Jesus Christ in my life, and I know exactly how to fight spiritually now. If I was strong then, I'm stronger now through Jesus Christ. That I'm not worried about them.
This dude. It says my father is a Navy SEAL. He has a cornfield.
What did he say?
He said that his father is a Navy SEAL. He has a cornfield.
Oh, it was the amulet one. Okay. She asked whose kid you were. Okay, that's a no. That's another witch. Uh, that's what that she was. All I know is it was. That's right. That's when it happened. I was uh, t- I was in track. I was in seventh grade. I stopped at the pharmacy called Watson's because they had a. It was real hot, and they had a water fountain in the back corner. So I went through because I had a side door. I went through there and I got some water. And as I was cutting through the store, this lady put her body in front of me, and she asked me if my parents were, or she asked me if, yeah, are you the son of? She said my dad's name, my mother's name, and I said yes. Then she asked my name, and I said that's me. And she just pulled out this big old amulet. It had bones and feathers and all kinds of stuff on it. And she's looking at me and she starts chanting something. I don't understand what she's saying. She's talking a different language, or saying something backwards. I don't know. So I'm looking at her and I start praying to our Father. I said for the Father to send me some heavenly help. Next thing you know, through my parallel vision, I see him behind me. It's a bunch of them, a bunch of angels with a golden aura on them, looking at her. And all I know is this: when there were so many of them that they were backing me up, the golden aura was around their bodies. That the witch seen them. You could see the fear in her face. That she dropped the amulet and it shattered on the ground into all kinds of pieces. She turned around and took off running out of there. That's the first and last time I've ever seen her. I don't know. I'm thinking she passed. I'm thinking that something happened to her. If she was trying to wish death upon me and the Heavenly Father protects me, that would mean that it went back to her seven times fold. Because that was the first and last time that I ever seen her. The first and the last. I don't know who she was, but I fought spiritually against her. I've been fighting spiritually all my life, brothers and sisters. Whoever's here viewing, whoever wants to know about the balance of good and evil, it exists, and God is with us. Believe it or not, the heavenly angels are with us. The I guess the thing I will tell you is what I was told through the Heavenly Father will be this: tell your brothers and sisters to open their doors and their windows to me. How do they expect me to help them if they don't let me in? How do they expect me to heal them if or bless them if they don't let me in? That's what I was told to tell all my brothers and sisters. So I'm saying it here in spiritual encrypted encounters. How do you expect the Heavenly Father to help you if you don't believe in Him or let Him in? Because you got to believe in Him in order for Him to come in. You have to have some kind of faith or belief, or else your prayers will go unanswered.
Delena, he wasn't a black brujo, he was blind. And the reason I went to him is because when my dad took us to Matamoros, Tamaulipas, we were staying with one of his cousins. I heard a knocking at the door. I mean, on the window around midnight, I'm saying. And I opened the curtains and looked out the window and I saw just the biggest hand with no arm crawling up the window. And it traumatized me so bad that when it got dark, I would just start screaming and crying. So my dad sent me with that blind brujo for a year. And when I came back, I had no memory of what we did that whole year, but I was no longer afraid of the dark. So hope that answers your question.
Well, I'm reading the message that what's in there left. My father's an ABCO and he's got a feel according to the cop.
Yeah, it was just a hand, Smurfy, just a big old hand. It didn't have an arm, man, and it was hairy. It was just crawling up the window, man. It looked something like it was going something like that, just up the window, man. That's
You
a
call
come
it
out.
the mano peluda, right?
Yeah, that's a come at night. Even now that I'm almost 60 years old, man. I don't after dark. I don't look out the windows. I don't answer the door. So you want to talk to me? You come during the day, or you're not gonna talk to me at all.
The hat man that he's talking about, I seen him in my first room where he was being drugged. I remember I like stargazing, looking at the stars. We had a big old screen window, and of course, the fresh breeze of air that comes through there. So I'm looking at the stars, for a while. I'm there for about 30 minutes looking at the stars through the screen window. Next thing you know, a face is right in front of me. He's smiling. You
He's
see
got
his
a
teeth.
fedora on,
He's got one of those, like a gangster hat.
a fedora hat, man.
Yeah, fedora hat, and his eyes are white, and he's looking at me. I see white eyes in his teeth, and he puts his hand by the screen window, and he's going like this. He wants me to touch his hand, right? So I get scared, you know, because I didn't know what it was. At that time I was young still. So I go underneath the bed, and I'm looking through a little hole that I have in my blanket, and he's looking down like that at me. and he's still smiling, looking down at me. And then when all of a sudden I see him move, so I get out from underneath the blanket and I look like this through the screen windows. You know, I push my head out a little bit like this on the screen, just enough to look, and I don't see nobody there. But that's the only time I really had an encounter there with that guy or whatever it was.
I used to sleep
Uh,
on that couch, man. I used to see it all the time. You were there all
you
the
see it all,
time.
see him all the time, peeking through
Yeah,
the window.
yeah.
Well,
Especially you can really see him clearly during a full moon.
the story of that was that there was some bank robbers that had robbed the bank, and that right there in the property was where this guy's buried some treasure, and further up they got killed somewhere, you know, for robbing the bank, but that they never found out what happened to the loot, what happened to the money. Uh, our neighbors across the street would say that they would see this blue light bouncing. It would bounce on the ground, bounce, bounce, and it would stop bouncing right by the outside water fountain. So if there is some kind of treasure buried there, it will be right outside
The
on the
house.
right side of the
Yeah.
house, where the water fountain is. Whether it's a treasure or not, I don't know. I never searched for it. Because what if it's not? What if it's something else? You know.
Yeah, cause check out this thing that really happened to me when I became a father. Me and my baby mama moved in across the street from my in laws, man. And at night, so we wouldn't waste light, we had those lamps that use the oil lamps. Well, one night I got comfortable, man, and decided to read my Bible. All right, so I start off in the very first page, in Genesis, man, and I'm reading, and then you start hearing all kinds of weird noises in the trailer house, right? Like banging on the walls, somebody running through the trailer house, somebody running on the roof, and a lot of laughter. But what really blew my mind, man, was that it was a quiet night, man. There was no wind. When I was like 5 pages into Genesis, the big old strong wind came through the inside of the trailer house and turned off my four lamps, man, that I had burning with oil. It turned them off, and then the screen on the bedroom window fell out, and then you could hear somebody laugh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, every time, man, before I got baptized, every time I would grab a hold of the Bible to read it, strange stuff like that would happen. It's weird, right?
Yeah. That was remember that could have possibly been a Wendigo,
If it was a Wendigo
a,
or a demon, I don't
a
know what it
gust of
was,
wind. Get it?
but
Wind, and he shut off all. He had to be moving at a high rate of speed in order to do that to shut off the lights.
yeah, and like I said, that only happened when I would read my Bible, man. Before I got baptized. Well, now that I'm baptized, man, that don't happen anymore.
Well, that's good.
And that just blew my mind. And my pastor told me that they were trying to stop me from seeking Jesus and God because they knew that once I got baptized, I would be a mighty weapon for the Lord.
It was trying to shut off the lights to scare you. And then when it left, is for the fear factor. That's why it did that to see if it
Yeah,
could find an opening
it didn't
to.
scare me, man. It just like what the heck?
Uh, yeah, I believe you, man. I've witnessed things like that. Yeah, it had to be something demonic.
It had to be because, like I said, it only happened when I was reading the Bible. There was no wind outside, man, at all. It was a calm night. All of a sudden, a gust of wind came and it just through the inside of the trailer house, man.
Yeah. Says before my husband was killed, he read his Bible heavily. God was preparing him. He knew what was going to happen. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, certain things happen at certain times. We just don't know when our time is. It's just the only thing I can say is you got to keep on living your life, not give up, because God wouldn't want you to give up. So if things are telling you to give up, or thoughts in your mind are telling you to give up, tie bind and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name, because that's not your thought. That is the things that are coming around you spiritually. The Jesus Christ and the angels ain't going to tell you to give up. The only thing that's going to tell you to give up is other things that don't want you to continue to live in.
You know, that's the only
So
problem, man. I love me too much to try to hurt myself. I love me some me, man. Delana, do you live close by me? You said you lived in Hazel, right?
where's Hazel at?
Oh, it's about 20 to 30 minutes up the road from here. You, so you live in Albuquerque. You weren't the one that said you live close by. I'm sorry. My bad.
It wasn't Delana. It was what was it? Who's the one that lived in
In Hazel.
yeah, but who's the one that said that lived in Fort Worth?
I can't remember. Can't remember, man. Just thought I had an ally close by.
I know we got in a little bit off a topic about the Shapeshifter
The,
Skinwalker.
sounds like a lechuza to me.
That makes it clicking with her tongue.
Yeah.
Uh, what is the other one called? The tecote. What is it? The tecote. What is a tecote?
I don't know, man. Are you trying to say tecolote?
Tecolote. Yeah,
Yeah, now.
it's an owl too, right?
Yeah, un tecolote is a now.
Tecolotes. Uh-oh. Tecolotes. That's a new name for them. Tecolotes.
Anything that has to do with elotes, huh? You gonna call him elote in a cup now?
You're gonna call him. He's a cryptid. He's a tecolote now. Shit, he's the original tecolote from OKC.
Are you saying tecolote or tuculote?
He's a tecolote, and then becomes what is it? Tucolote.
Tuculote, ¿no? No, no tatacuache porque no quema.
No. Oh, man, I got some lechuza stories for y'all. You want to hear? If
I
you're
only
willing to
have
hear.
one. I only have two. I only have two
Oh
lechuza
my
stories.
God. You want to hear a scary encounter?
Let's hear it,
Okay.
cousin. Let's hear it. I'm sure the members will enjoy it.
Was that
I
a
said, let's hear
lechuza?
it.
Okay, first we're going to talk what a lechuza is. A lechuza is the form they take of an owl, which is kind of like a harpy.
Mm-hmm.
The witches turn into. The manifestation they take is into this lechuzas, which are kind of like an owl, but they're huge, and they have the face of a woman. Uh, so that's what they like to manifest in and take form of. If they're whistling, there's a noise that they make.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that. You're opening
This
yourself up for a visit.
I'm saying that's how they sound, right? Uh, I'm just here for the members. They make a screeching sound like that. How do I know? Because I have many encounters with them. I know how they sound. So
I've always
you're
had
not
demons.
supposed to whistle. You're not supposed to whistle back because if you whistle back, they come for you.
They come for your
Uh,
eyes.
the ones that will make those noises were the black witches, the black owls that will sound like that. That will make that noise. They look big. They were far up in the sky, but they still look big. So imagine how big they looked up if they came to the ground. They would be way big. They would be very tall. So there was always where I grew up. I was always seeing them. They'd be flying, and I knew not to whistle back. And sometimes they see you and they turn back and they're looking at you. And sometimes you see one. Sometimes you must see two. And they're never alone because they travel in packs. Like in groups.
Bathroom break. Be back.
They, they travel in numbers. So we had gone up to Arkansas to work up there when I was a kid. My father when I worked with his stepdad on the tractors, cultivating fields, and we was doing other kind of field labor. They was trying to get us to do some cucumbers, but we decided to do cotton. So we were working out there in the fields in Arkansas. I was a kid, like it's probably 7 years old, 8 years old. Even my sister, she was younger than me. And she was out there. So we're out there working, but we can't. We finished our time there working, so we were coming back into Texas. Right, we're coming back into Texas. I just can't remember which way we came through Texas. Uh, it had to be probably through Oklahoma. All I know is that we came into Texas. We're already in Texas, and there was a guy, a DPS, blocking the road. He had the road blocked, and he said that we couldn't go forward because there was a bad accident that happened, and there was a road right there, right beside him. He said, "Y'all need to go down this road." So, well, we're trying to get to this destination. They said, "Well, this road takes you to the location. Also, just got to follow it." My dad, of course, back then, he had a map, and he's looking at the map, and he's looking at the map, and I said, "I guess it does go to the same location or whatever." And he said, "Is this road a paved highway like this?" I said, "Yeah, it's all paved all the way through." So I said, "Okay, well, thank you, officer." And he looked like a sheriff or something, or thank you, sheriff. So we go down this road. It's a regular highway. We have a station wagon that has two gas tanks. When we started going down the road, it was like 7 o'clock at night. Right, we down the road, and it's like the road became like a road as we kept on going. The road came we went from a regular road to a street road, like a road, like a street road. And then from then, as we kept on going, it went from a street road to a dirt road. So we're going down this dirt road, and my dad's like pissed. He's like, I thought he said that it was gonna be all paved, right? So we're driving down this road. It's like around, man, we had already wasted a lot of gas because it had a V8 in it, I think. So it was a gas guzzler, and We're driving. As we're driving, it's like around, I would say 11:30. We're driving down the dirt road, and next thing you know, there's lights behind us. A big old truck, and it's trying to hit us in the back of the station wagon. So my dad, hits the gas and it starts leaving it behind, and then it shuts off the light. And then as we're going, next thing you know, the lights are right behind us because they snuck up on us and they hit us with a. They had those lights on top of the truck beaming on us, and they're trying to run us off the road. So my dad's not letting them pass us up or do nothing or to get close enough to hit the station wagon. So we're all freaked out. We're scared. Uh, and then as this vehicle is trying to knock us off the road, there's this building that looked like a castle or something. Uh, that had lights up on top. It was big, and on top of there, you could see the black lechuzas on top of that.
Wow.
Next thing you know, all the lechuzas that were black lechuzas that were up there, they all flew and started coming towards us. So they started attacking the station wagon. So we had the truck driving off the road. Did you whistle?
Not me, huh? I can't whistle.
Uh-oh.
I told you
I
not
get
to be whistling, dude. I told you not to whistle. I told you were gonna open yourself up for it. I told
there's anything negative here, a tie butter because Jesus Christ's name. You're not welcome here. I heard it. You
you.
whistled.
I told you not to whistle, man. Especially at this hour. It's about 3 o'clock. A minute till three.
It said somebody said wow. It said I heard a whistle.
Mm-hmm.
I hear in the front.
Yes, Murphy said he heard that shit too. No, man, I learned my lesson from when I was a kid, man. I don't whistle at night, man.
Oh,
And I don't whistle when I'm walking through the woods either.
let me take care of this, man. They're saying something to me.
Okay, well, be careful.
They said something. I'm gonna go outside. Yeah, I'll be right back. They said something to me.
Be
I'm not
careful
gonna.
if it says I'm back for the rematch because you know it's from your childhood.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Careful. May the Lord protect you. Yeah, he heard it. He heard it. Talk to him. You must not have fear, but have faith in the Lord. No, not in my neighborhood, Smokey. I'll get shot. I live in El Barrio, man. If I say go out there and yell that, especially if I say putos, you're gonna try to get me shot, man. Oh yeah, very true, Delana. Man, these guys here in this neighborhood are so crazy. They were still popping fireworks a little while ago. We're almost the 10th of July. These guys are still popping fireworks. Well, you can't do nothing to Lechusa with a shotgun, man. There's only two ways I know of that you can bring one down. You good, cousin?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, yeah. I seen something. Uh, I think it was a bruja. Seen her when I turned the lights. I seen her taking off that ways.
She
So I
moved to the
started
shadows.
praying, and I said a type on the rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. But she took off real fast. She was you could see black.
Yeah, I was telling the members that there's only two ways you can bring down one of those things, man. And it's not with a shotgun, and it's not with a gun, man. I think the first way to do it, you recite las siete verdades, and it is said that after you get to the last one, it'll fall, and in the morning there will be a bruja there where it fell, and it won't be able to move unless you release it. But you know what happens when they're caught in bird form at sunup, man? They die. And the second way is what they told me was to say the Ten Commandments backward, and that also brings them down and kills them.
So y'all heard it, eh? Yeah, it was saying something, whispering something like you know, spoke of. Yeah, y'all heard the whistle in here.
I told you not to whistle, primo. I told you, man. Even an imitation, they'll hear it, man, if you're close by, and they'll come.
It was I wasn't trying to whistle. I was just making the sound effect of it.
Well, she heard the sound effect, man.
Yeah, I seen her. I seen it take off that ways when I went and I started praying around my yard. Said, "Dear Father," and I said a type binary big in Jesus Christ's name. But I seen her or seen whatever it was. Maybe it would have been a Shapeshifter Skinwalker, but it was right by my stepson's truck, and it took off. And I seen it when I turned on the lights. I seen it move.
They jumped into the shadows.
Yeah, that's what they do. They hide within the shadows. You're not supposed to fear it. That's what I went outside
That's what I was telling the viewers, man, that
to
you're not
I went
supposed to have
outside
fear, but
to rebuke it in
have
Jesus
faith.
Christ's name. Because if I wouldn't have gone outside, then that's let them know that
There's an opening.
I'm afraid of it or something. So that's why I went outside to fight it spiritually.
After my mom died, man, I saw a real big black one. It stopped on that post that used to be in front of the waterworks.
Hmm.
And then my friend Juan Garza, the one that turns into Lechusa, he said something to it, and it flew away, man. But it flew over there toward where Olga Contreras lives, over there in
So
that alley.
yeah. So getting back to the story, guys. This dark lechuzas or black lechuzas. They came from the big building that had lights that was in the middle of nowhere. They all flew and they come towards a station wagon where the station wagon starts getting hit by this lechuzas on both sides. They're scratching the top of the station wagon, and we're all in the middle, and they don't want us to be nowhere near the window, so we're in the center of the vehicle. All my brothers and sisters, because we're small, we're still young, and you can see the lechuzas looking at us, the faces and everything. Uh, they're hitting the station wagon, trying to knock us off the road, and then the freaking vehicle with the beams or is still behind us. So we start praying. That's the only thing we can do. We go into prayer. We go into prayer and we're praying and praying and praying. Next, the lechuzas take off. Then, we're running out of gas. We got a little bit of gas. and we're waiting for the sun to come up, and then we don't see that truck anymore that was trying to knock us off the road. So we run out of gas. We see the sun come out. We have been driving all night. We're just scared to go to sleep because of what happened, right? And next thing you know, we see a road, like a regular highway. We get on there, and there was an old gas station, with some old fuel pumps. We get up by the fuel pump, and we go in there, and go into the gas station, and it's like a gas station slash meat market. So the man, he's cutting pieces of meat there, and they tell him, we get remember this is in the '70s, so there's still a lot of racism. Was still a lot of racism then. So the owners are
Right.
white. We asked dad asked if we could get fill up because we were running out of gas, and they told us no immediately. They told my dad no. So as we were walking, there was a DPS passing by, and my dad waved him down. He stopped, came back around, and he was telling him, "Look, we don't got no gas. They don't want to give us no gas. This and this and that." So the DPS went in there and they told them to give us gas. He said, "I got money to pay. We just need gas." So we were able to fill up because of the DPS guy, and we were able to leave that area. I believe that was like God sent right there. But this is a time where there's still racism.
A
I
lot of whites
remember,
only. A lot of
I
whites
remember,
only people there.
yeah, I remember the signs on the trees, in the stores, where it says, no ends, no wetbacks, no chinks, and it would say only dogs allowed. I remember those signs because we were migrant workers, so we seen the racism. You know,
I remember, man, when we used to go to the valley from here to Raymondville, man. My uncle would stop at these places, and instead of going through the front door, he had to go through the back to get service. And I would ask him why, and he would tell me because they don't like Mexicans, blacks, or anything that's not white.
this was in the '70s. So you remember correctly, guys. In the '70s, there was a lot of African American people missing. A lot. You remember the missing cartons of the pictures in the back of the cartons of milk?
The foremost milk.
It was the majority of the missing people were black people back then on the cartons. I guess Jeffrey Dahmer was having a party. No, but a lot of them were kids, a lot of children. So I believe that DPS showed up passed by at the right time because DPS, they travel they have a big section to travel. It just happened that they passed by when we stepped out, and my dad was able to wave them down. I believe God placed them there for a reason, the DPS, and He helped us, and we got the hell out of there. You know, we got out of there.
Hey, cousin, what did the
Yeah,
lechuza whisper to you?
huh?
What did the lechuza whisper to you right now?
Said something, man. I just couldn't understand what it was saying,
You gonna debunk the video?
but but I believe we caught it on tape, on this
Mm-hmm.
recording.
You gonna debunk the video?
Was it?
Are you gonna debunk the video?
Yeah, I'll debunk it. It said something right here beside me. I don't know if y'all heard that. Somebody said something like right here beside me. It whispered something. That's why I went outside. It's okay. Yeah. You wanna? I guess I heard me saying the story here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I wanted a challenge. I guess because I made that whistle. Well, it wasn't just a whistle because right after the whistle, after I said there's something whistled right here beside, right here. So I looked that ways. Then you hear somebody say something to me. It was a voice of a woman.
English or Spanish?
I don't know. It happened so fast, but I know it'll be in the video. I would just have to debunk it. It's going to be on the video where, I mean, for those who have the headsets, maybe you can try to debunk it. It's going to be right after I said that I heard something whistle. The next thing you know, I'm going to say something. Just say something. So go back and forth.
Get the hell out of you. You're funny, Red Runner.
Dang. He said the wish said. I think the word it said were it was a female's voice.
Let's choose a pizza delivery. Oh man, these guys are great, man.
Yeah, that was kind of freaked out, man. That it whistled in here, and then it said something to me.
I hope it
It's
didn't
great.
say. I hope it didn't say. You talk about my mama.
You're my pappy. I'm your pappy. So no,
Yes.
Jesse, your pappy.
Ah, the Pepe. He was looking for corn on the cob.
It was a voice of a woman, man. But if they surface up again, I'm gonna have to fight spiritually, man. If she comes back with numbers, I can't hear your cousin.
It was a Mexican witch. She went to get her homegirls. So they're gonna jump you. Still can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. She said, "I love you long time." Hey, Xavier, did you hear somebody whistle outside? Did you whistle in here? Yeah, my stepson was outside, and I asked him if he just came back from the outside. He was in the backyard. I asked him if he whistled. He said no. He said he's been in the backyard all this time.
He's in the backyard during witching hour, man. It's 3:15.
He was smoking a cigarette,
Oh, he's making
but
an
he said he
offering.
didn't hear. He said he didn't hear no whistle because the whistle happened in here.
Tell the
Next
lechuza
Thanksgiving,
you Tell her you're gonna give her the stuffing.
give her some. Shit. I guess it was a whistle that I did, man.
I told you.
So there is wishes here
I
in the
told you.
barrio.
Yeah, I told you, man. And then Smurfy told me to yell out the window, go to the window and yell out putos. I go, you trying to get me shot.
Jam says I wake up 3 a.m. from the train horn blasting. What the hell? I had a big cop corn attack me last week, but I
Well,
turned it
depends
into an
on where it
owl.
attacked you, man. Depends on where it attacked you.
I think that is corn on the cob. I don't know. Somebody said Joe Biden's plane has just crashed. For reals? Where did it crash? So they took him out. Because remember yesterday on the live, I did a prayer for President Trump to be protected from any witchcraft or necromancy. That if anybody was trying to do anything to him, to go 7 times fold.
Are you sure it was Buddha and not something else, man? 'Cause you're getting close to something that's not a boot. Alejandro, we speak Spanish only on the weekend when we're eating menudo.
At the taquerías.
Yep.
Sí hablamos español, ese. Nah. Somebody saying 333. Is that you, Mr. Kermit? I think the trolls are out. Interfere with the military recruitment efforts. Good Joey B is already gone. He is an actor in a fake interrogation. I haven't heard nothing of that. Okay, there's another troll. Ah, we have 42 viewers and 12 thumbs up. Hey, I appreciate y'all guys, viewers that are popping in. We just had an experience here, as I was saying the story about lechuzas. I was trying to was mimicking the sound, and I heard a whistle in my room where I'm right beside me. Then after that, I heard somebody say something to me. So I went outside to fight spiritually. I guess you don't have to whistle too loud in order for them to understand what you're doing. Reezy Mountain Crash. Oh, they exist, Jams. They exist. Oscar Mojedano. Do you have a DD214? So we can see that you're real, that you're legit veteran, or your VA card. I think that's a troll. Que no, primo.
Yep.
Pray for Joe Biden. That's
I'll
probably
pray
another
for him
troll
just
too.
now. I just prayed for him so he could get out of here.
Smash is another one. But anyways, yeah. See, man, you always get something happening here in spiritual encrypted encounters. Whether if you're out there when I go lives on my investigations, wherever tunes in, you're gonna catch some kind of activity. I always catch activity. That's nothing new. It happens all the time to me. You know, when I say things surface up, they surface up when you least expect it.
They're picking the wrong page to come into, man. There's a lot of mods up in here.
And they always kind of trying to come and interrupt with the dads. But let me go back to the lechusas. I mean, I know it's supposed to be about shapeshifter skinwalkers, but lechusas are also bruor, which is they're shapeshifters because The shapeshifters and the witches and warlocks learn from the DDN or demons. They learn the witchcraft and necromancy through them to have those abilities.
The Lechusa's got a corn delivery going, Smurfy.
Oh man.
I'm trying to keep serious, man, but every time you post something, it just makes me laugh.
We tie bind and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. That's all I gotta say. If anybody's coming in here with any witchcraft or necromancy, we tie bind and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name.
No, you're a joke, man. Desert Storm was not a joke. You're out of here, buddy.
It's this old boy. Even the other one that's talking about. I mean, I'll give the. He's talking about Jesus, but let me see. Name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. This one, the demons hate that when you do the sign of the cross. One, two, three, four. But they they, they want to make fun of the Holy Trinity, which is three. So which you have to be careful when you. That's why you have to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ and pray to Him, and He will assist you spiritually. But when they do things, and like yesterday we're doing a video. We're talking about the dream catchers. The chimes went off three times, so that's letting me know that there's a demonic presence around. When I went outside to pray, I should have taken the phone with me. All my hair stood up on all over my body, in which I could sense something there. Heard something on top of the roof. Then I heard movement to the right. And I prayed and I said, "Top under Jesus Christ's name, leave."
Annette, the reason that we have so many experiences is because it runs in our bloodline. Everybody in our family sees them.
And there's other people in the family that believe in other things. Did they do the witchcraft and necromancy? So that's
No.
what I've chosen my path with Jesus Christ and do my own thing. I never dabbled in nothing like that, but the only thing I've done is fight spiritually all my life.
Unfortunately,
What?
I have dabbled, primo. I have.
Huh? You have?
Unfortunately, I have. I've dabbled just a little bit, un poquito nomás. Yeah, it's me. I'm the one that do this. Here you go. Have a healthy serving.
He probably Ike mad because I remember Ike, Dirty Ike, used to make fun of me saying that he's got fake subscribers, uh, that I was nobody and all this stuff. But look at me now. For those that doubted Brother Ape see us or Sarn see us, look at us now. Uh, we've grown. We've grown and we continue to do the spiritual works here late at night. We pray for people that need spiritual prayer. We have to tie bond rebuke anything unclean with will. That's what we do here on spiritual encounters. Check out the short reel. There's two short reels. One for 2 days ago and the one I did yesterday. It's the same thing. It's a Shapeshifter Skinwalker, or the one from 2 days ago. The one I placed yesterday is just the beastly manifestation that it took. Check them out. Check out the two short reels that I got from the first two, which is the latest ones. Check them out. Shapeshifter Skinwalkers, they're amongst us. S- Incense, scents. Sometimes they can how should I say, block your spiritual senses to sense spiritually, because you, the the way you sense is like if when you're out there investigating, if there's a sulfur smell or a pestilence smell, you know there's something around you. But if you're walking around with a candle with incense, well, then you're just blocking your spiritual sense of smell, right? Or you put on perfume, and the only thing you're smelling is your perfume. You're blocking your spiritual sense of smell to know exactly what's around you. So females that are paranormal investigators, or you call ghost hunters, uh, try to wear as a little bit of underarm deodorant or perfume, or it goes for the guys too, because your senses are very keen, you know. So keen block your sense of smell, because that lets you know when there's something around also.
Smurfy, that's sorcery.
Smurfy, I think he's the only man that can make a corn on the cob disappear while simultaneously turning it brown. Oh my
That is
god.
it. That's sorcery.
There he is right there. Corn on the cob identified. Fire on the way. Brrr. He said you can sense a spirit, corn on the cob in his ass. That's what he said, man.
Yeah.
He's sick. That's a troll, fella. That's a troll, people. We call him corn on the cob because he likes corn on the cob the long ways.
Yeah, well, keep doing your cocaine, Harry Walker. Bye.
There you go. They're idiots. They have nothing else better to do.
Yeah, man, they just don't know. I love kicking people out, man. That's kind of my thing.
They say, hey, the girl that whistled was just hungry. She had the bun and just asking for the sausage.
That's like this page, Primo. It's like walking into a club to hold it up and it's full of policemen. This page is like that. There's so many admins in here that you got no chance.
Yeah. But yes, let's get back to the. What do you want to talk about? Uh, Continue to talk about lechuzas. I mean, I guess I can't do that whistle anymore since it kind of got him riled up.
He got mad because you went outside to fight the lechusa. That's when they started coming in here real bad.
I can't believe that these troll guys, they're bent out of shape. They don't work out, and they want to come make fun of me when I do work out. Sorry to see us. I mean, I could show you my guns. They don't even work out, and they want to come in here talking smack. Get out of here.
Yeah, man, go F yourself, man. We don't talk to no 12 years olds. Get out of here.
They keep on trolling, man. That's all they do. That's when the only time they come up. They come out in the wishing hour because they belong to a cult. They belong to the corn on the cob cult. They belong to the corn on the cob cult. They've seen the movie Children of the Corn, and they think that's why they're into corn on the cobs now. Hey, primo.
Yep.
Debbie Donovan, what is your native tribe? Who are you speaking to? Him? To me? I'm in the tribe of Jesus.
Yes, we're really cousins, Cali girl. And I'm from the Slapaho tribe. Just kidding, just kidding.
Oh man, we're just playing around. We've been
Fun,
having
fun.
trolls there for about 10 minutes now. We got
Yeah.
41 right now. 41 viewers. How y'all doing? Hit the like button. If you want to come and troll and act a fool, at least hit the like button, man. Get my numbers up. It's kind of I can't even talk about corn ever since this guy just made it bad for everybody to think about corn.
Somebody's threatening to put a corn curse on your door frame. ¿De veras? I ain't afraid of no elote.
Yeah, I'll like your stream, but put your fuckers down. What? Promises, promises. If you want some, come get some. That's all I gotta say. It ain't gonna be pretty.
I'll be honest, man. I can only eat it in a cup because I got no tools.
Honestly, after old boy gave it a bad reputation, I don't want to mess with any kind of corn.
Yeah, man. You know how back in the old days, man, the old guys would always tell you, "You're not a man until you can tell me how many corn cobs you used to wipe your ass." And I never knew the answer, but I know the answer now. It takes three: two yellow corn cobs and a white one. The white one is the like the white gloves in the Marine Corps to make sure it's clean.
Well, Watson it doesn't know that. He just puts everything in there. The whole elote with the leaves and everything.
Entonces, con la mazorca y todo el pedo.
Todo el pedo, cochino.
Yeah, man, he uses the pelo elote to clean his dirty elote, but
Thank you, bro, Colin C. I got a story for you. Since we're talking about corn, it's not dealing with the uses of corn. So, corn on the cob, don't get excited, okay? This is a
he's over
story
drooling.
of corn.
He's drooling.
When I was a kid, I was my mom sometimes would discipline me, and I would get really really upset with my mother for hitting me because I love my mother. Uh, so I said to myself one day, and this is not me. This is the thing that the thought that came to my mind. The thought that came to my mind was run away or go hide somewhere just to see if your mother really loves you. And another thought came and said, go hide in the corn. So I'll go hide in the nearest cornfield that's there by our house. So I'm out there in the corn, and I'm looking through the corn leaves, and I see the cops. They're looking for me. They're everywhere. Cop cars with the lights on and everything. They're searching for me and all this. But I was there in the corn for a while. Just checking them out. So they leave, and it's like they can't find me, right? So while I was there in the corn, I noticed something. When I turned behind me, there was this indios. there was like three of them standing behind me. I don't think there were natives. I think there were these demonic things. They were right there in the corn. So I looked at them and it kind of like freaked me out. So I went home. When I got home, my mother was crying, and I went underneath the house. You know, it was like a little hole. There used to be a little hole where she would sweep the dirt through this little hole. And I looked up there and she was crying. And I went in there and I said, "I'm back." Man, she was like crying, but then I got disciplined for taking off like that, you know. But there was things out there. You know what I'm trying to say is the unclean spirits or demonic beings. They use anything in their power to try to separate or divide a family. So literally, they lure me out into the corn. Uh, but I went back to my mother in saying that corn on the cob. Stop listening to the voices. Leave the corn alone. The corn is not used for that, man. Leave the corn alone. Boil it and let your family eat it before you use it, not after.
He uses those corn on the cobs to smooth down his hemorrhoids. Oh man, I'm sorry for that, but that was fun.
Children of the Corn with Malachi. Yeah, they guys got some issues, man. Some real bad issues. Uh, but you know, I don't even want to talk about them. Y'all doing enough talking for me,
Yeah,
so I don't
he
think
said,
you see Corner Cop. You come into this lobby with your as troll. You're gonna see a lot of things about you. I'm not even talking about you.
hey man, he
Uh,
called them the speed bump removers. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, cause I'm on a roll, man.
it was in the United States Army. Color corn decorations, filacho corn on the cob style.
Awa,
Golly.
awa, awa, awa.
I know it's still that hour, so should I? Maybe I'm gonna share another Lechusa story instead of talking
About corn.
in Elms Grove. When I was in Elms Grove, there was this owl, and it was making the sound. Hoot, 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 hoot. You know, it was hooting. The owl was, and it kept on. It was like a constant hoot, like hoot, hoot. And I was like, man, this owl is not. I can't sleep. You know, it's just making this owl sound. So I went outside to see uh, where this noise was coming from, and it kept on hooting. And I said, okay, it's coming from there. So I went back inside, and then the sound started getting louder and louder. And I said, okay, let me go back outside. When I go outside, I go to the front yard, and I see something. I see something black in the middle of the road, and it's walking like this, kind of like a weird walk, like a hobble. So I follow it, and it looks like a woman. I follow it, and it goes to the park. In the park, there's a lot of trees, and I'm following it. Then I don't see whatever it was anymore. But when I get near the park, this is what I witness: nothing but eyes looking at me from on top of the trees. There was like a lot of owls slash lechuzas looking at me from the trees. So I felt that whatever that was kind of set me up. So I'm there, and I said, I'm not afraid of y'all. And I start praying against them, and I said, "I burn big in Jesus Christ's name." And then you just see a bunch of them just fly away. There was like a lot of them there. That happened in Elms Grove. I would say, man, like 20, 30 of them on top of those trees. 10 years. I was in a servant 10 years. Somebody says, tell that Lechusa she better not leave.
Le chorizo.
Le chorizo on the roof.
Yeah, Smurf.
Yeah, that's nothing normal. You should see the videos I do when I go investigate. I get all kinds of interference, disembodied voices. You can see images when I'm walking. Like my cousin Jessie will be like, "Hey, hey, I see something there beside you. I see something moving," and stuff like that. But we like, "Get out of there, get out of there," because I'll be in the middle of nowhere.
And then your live goes dark. No signal.
I lose connection, then I come back, lose connection again. It comes back, and it just keeps on going like because I'm getting magnetic interference. That's good, Robert. Thank you. You're welcome, brother. Well, there's two times I've ran into Luchusa. Before I said the story, there was I had gone to the store to buy me a drink. So as I was coming back, I seen something as I was driving down the road on the side of the block. I seen somebody standing in the road. So as I was going went slow, it was a giant. It wasn't a lechuza. That's the thing. This one looked like a hawk or an eagle, and it was looking at me. It was pretty damn tall. It had to be like at least 5 to 6. I don't know how big those birds grow here in Texas. It was some kind of hawk looking at me, blocking the path. This is nighttime. It's looking at me. I'm looking at it, and then it just flies. And I start praying, and it flies and it lands on top of the tree, and it's just looking at me. It's looking at me. So I start praying, and next thing you know, it flies from yard to yard. It was pretty big, a big bird. Uh, to this day, I believe that that could have been maybe not a lechuza, since it was like a male bird. It would be more of a warlock. You know what I'm saying? Like a brujo, but it was in the form of an eagle or a hawk or something like that. It was a haktua. And of course, I seen the white lechuza that stands in the back of the oak tree behind the backyard. It looks at me from behind the tree. It looks the way it stands looks like it's a female, and it was looking at me like this from behind the tree. I think on that video, I was already signing off and saying my farewells to the viewers. Uh, Thank you. Yeah, I didn't trust the hawk because the hawks got them the big claws. So I didn't get off my vehicle. I waited to the left. Then I went and drove into my yard. The way it was looking at me, if I would have gotten up, it probably would have tried to attack me. So hawks got claws, lechusas got claws, or talons, should I say? Right, talons.
Talents.
Amen, brother. Thank you for his time and service. Not yet. No, my niece has been having she's been going to the doctor and stuff like that. She's been having issues, and my sister, she's been feeling sick and stuff like that. Uh, but when I do try to get them on, if they want to, I'll do a video with them. Maybe if I do it, it has to be during the day because my niece got a son that goes to school, but it is summertime, so you see when you get there, Robert. If you're really truthfully saying that you're going to join and all this, not as this troll corn on the cob, uh, you'll figure it out when you get there. Every boot camp is different, depending on what your MOS is, but boot camps are different. No, I can tell you when I went compared to now, it's probably a completely different boot camp. They're more, you could say, not as hardcore as when I was in. They're probably more soft. What I hear from the younger generation that have been to boot camp, I've heard the people from the Air Force talk, which they say their boot camp is easy. Some of the Army, they said that it wasn't that bad and all this. But you'll find out when you join. Yeah. Well, what MOS did you sign up for? What are you going in for? What is it that you're going to basic training for? Uh, yeah. Uh, that's supply specialist. That's not you're gonna be doing a lot of ordering. That's a good job right there because that job, when you get out of the military, you can use it to go work at a warehouse or a job because being a supply specialist, you could order all kinds of things. Like, for example, for the companies, you order the cleaning supplies or whatever they need there. They have to go through the supply sergeant, and also uh, if they have to get food from that we need because for the field or whatever MREs, it has to go through the supply sergeant, or the supply personnel. They're the ones that take the food out there to the in the field to the soldiers also to eat. So you got to do the breakfast. You go out there, MREs. You carry the water buffalo with you to give water uh, to the soldiers. So it's a pretty good job, I guess. You got your own little place where you're going to be at in the company. You probably have to operate a deuce and a half. I don't know if there's 5 tons now. They probably, I haven't been. Last time I was in, it was in 1999. This when I left. Oh my god.
You too much, Murphy. You too much, man.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to smile the drill sergeant. They'll probably smoke you, man. Make you
Yeah,
do
well, I
a
know
lot of
better than that.
push-ups.
I know better than that. I seen Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. So, Robert, when do you go to boot camp? When you leaving for boot camp? You know, if you got hair, you're gonna be bald, right? They're gonna sit you on a chair and spin you. By the time they finish the spin, your hair is gonna be completely off your hair, off your head. Not unless they changed that already. You know, I don't know.
Oh wow, nice. That's us. Sounds about right,
Shit.
Ridge Runner.
What Runner said. He had braces in his mouth. ATM, so I have to get papers from the doctor. Oh man. Uh, you probably go into the gas chamber too. That's one of the things that they'll take you to the gas chamber, in which you're going to be exposed to gas, like a
Hey man,
nerve agent,
I
gas
had some
agent.
channel, I had some channel beans earlier. I can expose them to gas right now. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, where's your duty station going to be at for basic? He probably smoked you. Don't get him pissed off. They'll have you do shit detail, man. Cleaning the urinals and the toilets with your toothbrush. You have no idea yet. When you get off the bus, they're gonna be waiting for you. Could be screaming at you. Your mama's not here no more. Your daddy's not here no more. I'm your mama. I'm your daddy. Double. Ooh man. They, I know it's probably different than back in the day. No smiles or complaints. I know we're getting off a topic. I think we lost like half the viewers. We're up to 40 at one point in time, or they're probably tired now.
It's almost it's
Yeah.
almost 4 in 4 minutes, man.
Doc said he was in boot camp in 2000. Where'd you go to boot camp, Doc Sauce? But anyways, that was crazy. The things that were happening here in the live.
Well, that's what you get for whistling at night, man. I told you not to do it.
So let's get back to another story. Hopefully, there's no ghosts that are going to be messing with you in the billets that you're staying at. You're going to be getting up very early in the morning. I don't think they even spit shy boon like back in the day because they don't wear black boots anymore. So you don't have to worry about spit shining no boots. Well, now when they're at 10 o'clock, by 11 we're asleep, and they have fire guard. So you probably have to do fire guard duty, like 30 minutes. 30 minutes, every 30 minutes, somebody pulls guard duty, or every hour. I can't remember, and it's going to be part of basic, the fire guard duty. Yeah, my brother went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. No, you said Fort Campbell. I went to Fort Knox, Kentucky. They'll wake you up. But in saying that, what do you think? Cuz, are you tired?
Yeah, I'm just about there, man.
All right.
We went to about 5 in the morning last night, man.
Yeah, yeah. So I can say one more
Yeah.
story. I mean, do you
I
want
got,
to you want to share a story, cousin, to the
yeah, man,
viewers?
go ahead. I'm listening. I got 21% left on this thing.
Okay. Uh, the shadows, the shapeshifter skinwalkers. When you go out there and you're investigating, that you're searching either for a Bigfoot or a cryptid. All these things that I mentioned earlier, they're going to surface up because that's where they reside. That's where they live. You got the shapeshifter skinwalkers that reside out there. You got the Wendigo. You got this in Mother Nature.
You got the one.
The one. You got the elementals. Uh, what was the other ones? The DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim,
The
and of
Legion.
course the Legion that are out there in Mother Nature itself. So when you go out there because you're going to camp out because you're looking for a Bigfoot or a Dogman, or you're out there because you're trying to get in touch with the spiritual world, the spirits. Well, you're gonna run into all those things because that's what they are. They are spirits. They're in disembodied form, but they're evil spirits. So if your equipment starts failing on you, your battery starts getting drained, or if the people that are out there they lose their energy because something happened to them and they fall down to the ground, is normally because there's something negative around that's draining the energy of your equipment and the people. That's why it's very important to place Jesus Christ first. Pray before, during, and after, and say for nothing to follow you home. Because if you don't, they will attach themselves to you and try to enter your home through you. Basically, it'll be like a free invitation. Uh, but those things that are out there within Mother Nature. Kansas Owen says, the journal said you had me eliminated. True story. I
Oh,
mean,
that's pretty
look at
good.
the show reels that I got, guys, and you'll see the things that are out there that I catch here in Central Texas. I can speak for every region or anything like that, but I'm more than sure that because I've been everywhere around the world to know what's out there. Out there in the Muslim world, where Kuwait is and Iraq, the being that's out there is the Jinn, which I consider it the same as the DDN that's out there, and he has a lot of control over people, where it's bonding people and possessing people. Some of our soldiers that are in those environments, they come back with the negative attachment of the Jinn on them. It says all spiritual entities in nature negative. Are all spiritual entities in nature negative? Well,
They are not the same.
if it's dealing with magic, right? Magic is part of witchcraft or necromancy. Am I- It's part of witchcraft or necromancy. So that right there by itself it'll tell you. If it's magic is witchcraft or necromancy, where did the skinwalkers learn the witchcraft or necromancy? Where did the witches or warlocks? It's from demons. So yes, I would say that they're evil. That's why you're supposed to place Jesus Christ first with the love foundation. Somebody says that degenerate or born of flame rights. No, you're thinking about elementals. There are some fire beings that they're called elementals. Some are of fire, some are of water, some are of land, some are of air and earth. Elemental beings. That's why he said, aren't elementals supposed to be good to protect the land? They're
Protecting the
very
name.
mischievous, man. The elementals were created before humans, uh, and I guess you gotta respect, but at the same time, we are created under God's image. We are so. You could say elementals could be have envy towards us because we're created under God's image. I've heard stories of when elementals show up somewhere, like the fire elemental can cause a fire, uh, either in the woods or in your home. I've seen a vapor elemental before, a water elemental, and I've seen the fire elemental. I have a picture of it where the fire elemental is dropping in the sky. Like it looks like it's a sky, and it's dropping like yellow buckets or something, and you can see it in the sky where you can see the figure of it and everything.
And I've seen the wood elemental.
And yeah, and the wood elemental. Could someone get possessed by an elemental?
I think so.
Yes, they can get attacked by the woods. They can get misled by the woods. And there's a shadow elemental, where it's like a dark smoke elemental, like in spirit form, that also exists like a shadow.
Kind of like what you saw a little while ago that looked like a lechusa.
Yeah. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, I think we're going to call it a night. I know cousin Jesse is getting tired. I just want to say thank you to everybody that shows up here on spiritual encrypted encounters. Maybe I might go earlier. I'm not sure, but it's like around this time frame is when everybody shows up. That's why I like doing my lives. I don't even know what time it is right now. But yeah, we've been going on for 4 hours, right? Just about.
407. But hey, man, anytime you want me to co-host, just let me know.
Yeah, that's fine. If you're like cousin Jesse to be a regular host here with me, let me know and we'll do it like this. If you like this platform with me and cousin Jesse being here doing the shows, let me know and we'll do this. Or if you like me speaking by myself also, it's good when there's somebody else because it keeps us going. It's like a mortar machine.
Thank you,
It,
Elastic
it's
Machinery.
it's like we keep on going like the lotto machine at the flea market. the,
Thank you, Robert.
the lotto machine that does the corn on the cob at the flea market. Jesse, I mean,
Thank you, Brownie Bear.
cousin Jesse's cool as the wind.
Just because we've actually lived most of the stories, man. We were there. Thank you, Annette.
Yeah, we've been through some crazy stuff. Uh,
That's a fact
Especially
that
when
you got
they
right,
had a
man.
hit out for me when I was a teenager. They were coming for the whole family
The
because of a
creation.
because of an insurance fraud that was happening there. It was like a win-win situation for the people that bought the insurance. So they were coming for us, trying to eliminate all me and my brothers and sisters. But cousin Jesse, cousin Joe, uh, they stayed with us,
We formed
and this
DLF.
yeah, we formed DLF. Where's remember that time, that cousin, where those people showed up in the front yard and the people in the alley, those people walking through there trying to come to our house.
I remember that,
We,
man.
we were ready to fight them.
We were always ready, man. Let's fight was the fighting word. Oh, your name is Abe too, Duck Sauce? That's cool, man.
Yeah, so I've been through a lot. I've seen violence, death at a very young age, and then I went to combat at the age of 19 and seen more death. I seen a guy when they told us we're going to go to war. We have to take the tanks on the railheads in Germany to Bremerhaven, which is the bay where the naval ships were. We had loaded up there, and the current on the where the trains are, the wires on top are live wires, not like here. Our wires are underground; theirs are on top. That's why the trains go so fast that even the birds know not to land on those wires because they'll get electrocuted.
Fried chicken.
Uh, we had to wear like Kevlars when we got there, if because if we wear a regular cap, the current could jump to whatever we're wearing and electrocute us. I remember I was loading up the tank and I had my Kevlar on and I was locking the thing and I was going to stand up and Sergeant Rutherford yelled my name and he went. I looked at him like this and he goes like this. The wire was like right here,
Wow.
so I just slid, because I was that was my first duty station. So he kind of saved my life, and I said, thank you, Sergeant. He said, you need to be more careful, pay attention to your detail, because they're supposed to train us. So I was like inches away from hitting that, but I had my Kevlar on. But still, something could have happened, and just thank God that he was there. So we loaded him up, and I was on the detail to go to Bremerhaven. So we passed Munich, we went all through Germany to get to the uh, to the naval ships in Bremerhaven. When we got there, it was snowing, and I seen a current of electricity jump from one wire to the other, and there was this guy standing on a Bradley on top of the railhead on top of the Bradley, but he had a pile cap on, his military pile cap. The current jumped and hit him right here. I seen him fall off the Bradley. He fell, so I hit the thing so the train conductor could stop the train. They stopped it, and me and Gabi, we took off running, and we thought that the trainer had ran him over because his head was like near the railroad track. So when we got up there, you
Night
know, I remember
erased.
I remember his name. His name was PFC Mosaic, and his body was like this. It was just had to. It was just trembling and trembling, and he was going. Uh. Uh.
Wow, he got it bad.
So I touched his pulse. He still had a pulse. Checking if he was breathing, I could feel air coming out of his nose. But when I seen the entry wound was on top of the head, so his hair was sticking up where he went in through. His dog tags had rubber on it. The rubber was melted on his chest. As I was touching his videos, uh, they were crispy, like they were literally falling off his body like a burned newspaper. Like
Wow.
his the you had the color, but when I touched it, it just fell right off of him. So I'm searching for the exit wound, for the exit where the bolt went through. So I'll get down to where his left boot is, which we have dog tags there, and you can see where it went out the boot, where the dog tag was. So it was the dog tags. He wasn't wearing his Kevlar, so the current electrocuted him. So by the time the ambulance gets there, I'm telling him, hey, everything's gonna be okay, man. But he's not. He's irresponsive. He's not saying nothing. So we pick him up, and he's sliding off our hands. And they take him. Uh, Next thing you know, like 2 weeks later, we found out that that every bone in his body had burned. So the only thing that was left of him was the flesh. So every bone, the skull, everything was burnt. So the only thing that was left of that's why he kept on sliding off our bodies, off our hands. His family came. They had him like in a vegetable machine, and they disconnected it. I mean, he was
Wow.
he was gone,
It's a vegetable, literally.
like a vegetable. So it's kind of like how should I say? He wasn't here no more. Even though he had a pulse, and he had no no bones in his body left because the current is so strong that it burned every bone in his body. So the parents came, they disconnected the machine. They acknowledged us for what we did, try to help them out and everything. But I seen that. That was like the first time, like when I was in the military, that I witnessed that somebody died. And this is
I can see that.
before I even go to combat. So,
I can see the
we,
horror in your eyes as you're speaking, cousin.
huh?
I can see the horror in your eyes as you're remembering, man.
Yeah. So then, we were still on the details, so we have to download the tanks. We downloaded the tanks. I get stuck in the detail of downloading other vehicles that don't even belong to me. So I'm downloading all kinds of vehicles that I didn't even know. I just look at the instructions and drive them off the railhead. So I'm just following the instructions of every vehicle. Then the following day, you know, we're there looking, loading up the tanks because we have to drive them inside the naval ships. So we're waiting for us to drive the tanks in, and I see a girl up on top of the naval ship. She's got all these M16s on her shoulders. She's standing by the edge of the ship. A gust of wind comes, hits her. She falls into the bay,
Oh
and she
wow.
dies. So I literally seen two people die just moving equipment to get ready to go across the ocean to go fight Operation Desert Storm. Seen two people die. So I guess that was what was to come. So yeah, that's a long drop. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, I want to say thank you for those two. Maybe I'll say some military stories. I have, it's just things that I remember. When you go through it, you always remember. Thank you, cousin Jesse. You want to say anything to the viewers?
Yeah, everybody have a good night. It's been a fun show, and we will see you when we see you. Hopefully, I'll get invited back. I wouldn't mind being his co-host. It keeps me up and not having to deal with my insomnia.
Somebody said, "Do
That's
you
about
vape?" No, I don't.
me either.
Thank you all for the regulars that tune in. I really appreciate y'all. We'll continue to do these lives. That's why I said I don't want to step on anybody's toes, whether it's cryptid, paranormal, UFOs, or anything. The people that want the top hours from 7 to 10 or 7 to 11, 7 to 12. This is when I'm wide awake. This is my hours. I'm awake this hours. So,
I'm the tribal chief of the Slapaho tribe, Smurfy.
I think it was
Uh,
Smurf. Smurfy, are you the one that lives in Fort Worth? Wasn't it Smurfy?
I have no idea.
Who's the one that lives near Fort Worth?
Well, thank you very much, Elastic Machinery.
Somebody lives near Fort Worth. I just can't remember who or lived in Fort Worth. They said they live right across some lake. What was the name of the lake?
Eagle Mountain,
The name
Lake
of the
Worth.
lake?
Lake Worth, she said. It was a female.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Worth.
Lake Worth. Camp Pendleton. Well, that's where you're going to basic.
No, this is another guy.
Cool. Somebody had a video they want to share. Hopefully, they send it to Messenger to me so I can check it out. Somebody that captures a possibly shapeshifter skinwalker. But in saying that,
Have a good night, Annette.
we're
May
going
the
to
Lord
finish
bless
off
you.
this with a prayer before we go, since we had some activity with Lechusa Bruja trying to cause an interference here. Heavenly Father, at this time, I'd like to pray for my brothers and sisters here in spiritual encrypted encounters, for no negativity to affect them. So we're placing heavenly spiritual crosses on them from head to toe, spiritually heavenly crosses on their doorways, on the windows. Uh, we call upon you to send your heavenly angels to do a clean sweep of our foundation and our inner foundation, clear out any negative attachments, unclean spirits, If there is anything like that around us, we tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. This I pray through our Heavenly Father. Amen.
Amen.
In saying
Well,
that, good night, everybody.
good
Sweet
night.
corn dreams.
Good night from Fort Worth, Texas. Y'all have a blessed night.
Sweet corn dreams.
Not sweet corn. It's gotta be yellow corn.
Don't be dreaming about the sweet corn. Somebody was talking about sweet corn yesterday. Anyways, good night, y'all. All
Bye.
right, cuz. See you later.
Later, cousin.
Peace.
Peace.